जय मणि प्रभु।
हाँ प्रभु जी।
दर्शनम।
ये मेरा ऑफिस का थोड़ा मेरा लैपटॉप मिल रहा है ना प्रभु जी।
अच्छा
ये थोड़ा कैम का प्रॉब्लम चलेगा यहाँ पे।
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा। Emotional service surpasses all liberation. All right, so let's begin. We'll chant the pranam mantras. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji, your voice is like a static, Prabhuji, little bit.
Hare Krishna.
For me?
Yeah, Prabhuji, there is one problem. It's crackling, actually.
Yeah,
My
cracking.
voice?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Is it still cracking?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, let us see how to uncrack it. Hare Krishna. Is it better now?
Same, Prabhuji.
Okay, I'll log out.
Okay.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji. Now it is better.
Mani Prabhu, is this better?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Better? Okay. So, let us begin. We were reading from Nectar of Devotion. Devotional service surpasses all liberation.
Yes, Prabhuji. There is a page in the Hayashirsha. That turn we have to start, Prabhuji.
Yes. So, Mani Prabhu, would you like to read that? You have the para in front of you.
1 second, Prabhuji. Which para is it, Prabhuji?
There is a passage in the Hayashirsha Pancharatra.
Yeah, Prabhuji. There is a passage in the Hayasirsha Pancharatra which states, "My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I do not want any resultant benediction from my religious life, nor do I want any economic development, nor do I want to enjoy sense gratification nor liberation. I simply pray to be an eternal servant at your lotus feet. Kindly oblige me and give me this benediction."
Next para.
In the same Hayasirsha Pancharatra, after Narasimhadeva wanted to give benedictions to Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlada did not accept any material benediction and simply asked the favor of the Lord to remain his eternal devotee. In this connection, Prahlad Maharaj cited the example of Hanuman, the eternal servitor of Lord Ramachandra, who also set an example by never asking any material favor from the Lord. He always remained engaged in the Lord's service. This is the ideal character of Hanuman, for which he is still worshipped by all devotees. Prahlad Maharaj also offered his respectful obeisances unto Hanuman. There is a well known verse spoken by Hanuman in which he says, "My dear Lord, if you you can give me salvation from this material existence, or the privilege of merging into your existence. But I do not wish any of these things. I do not want anything which diminishes my relationship with you as servant to master, even after liberation." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what is the background? Yes, what is the background?
Background means, Prabhuji?
What's going on in this chapter?
Of this chapter.
Liberation, like talking about the liberation, Prabhuji.
Yeah. The word is liberation. Yes, we're talking about this discussion going on. So what is being spoken here? What is Rupa Goswami trying to mention in this particular chapter?
Like devotee is not seeking any kind of liberation over pure devotional service.
Devotee is not seeking any type of liberation.
They are
The whole,
asking a pure devotional service, Prabhuji.
they're asking pure devotional service. Yeah. So basically, what's going on is, as the title suggests, right, the devotional service surpasses all liberation, right? So, in one sense, what Rupa Goswami is trying to mention here, that let us not belittle devotional service. Let us not minimize the importance of devotional service. Let us not mix it with any other thing. It is what is Prabodhananda Saraswati is saying, right? That for me, impersonal liberation, for me, the thorn that is pricking my feet when I'm performing Govardhan Parikrama, right? That is more pleasurable than impersonal liberation. You see, have you heard that before? Have you heard that before? Anybody?
Yeah, we heard, Prabhuji.
Right? So what is being discussed? I'd like to request devotees to acknowledge and let's have interactive so that there is a nice discussion. So, uh, so Prabodhanand Saraswati is mentioning like that the thorn pricking in the feet is more pleasurable. It's actually giving pain. But he's saying it's to me, I am enjoying that pain more than the impersonal liberation. What that means is that if impersonal liberation or these material appliances are like receiving $10,
Mm-hmm.
the devotional service is like receiving $1 million. You see, so that is a whole emphasis that is given over here in this chapter to really put devotional service in its place and to understand its value. You see, so when we understand the value, then we will appreciate it and then we will seek for it. Right? We will seek for it. When we understand the value, then we long for it, right? If we do not understand the value, then we do not aspire for it. Is it right? Is there anything that you are desiring, Rath Yatra Prabhu?
No, Prabhuji, whatever you are speaking is correct,
No, you
but
don't desire, like, I'm just asking a question. Is there any desire you have?
I have one desire, Prabhuji.
What is that?
It's not give me the opportunity to serve you. Only desire nowadays, so
So you're desiring that Krishna give us opportunity to serve you
yes, Prabhuji.
or serve me.
Krishna means to serve devotees. Yes, yeah, that is. Krishna also says, if you want to serve me, you have to serve.
I was just joking,
No,
but
no.
so that's a good desire, right? But apart from that, do you have any desire? Do you have any material desires?
No, Prabhuji, I am sick.
Or you're sick? Everything okay? Your health is okay?
Now, if I see anything material, I don't get anything out of it. I get.
Achha, you're sick of material desires. Okay. I thought you were sick. Okay, so that's a very good state, right? You're sick of material desires, right? So the point again here is that's being emphasized over here is that how glorious or how valuable pure devotional service is, right? And Srila Prabhupada is giving quotations from the scriptures to explain how the exalted devotees, uh, what is their state of mind, what is their disposition, what is their understanding. Because by learning from these pure devotees, exalted devotees, then we will get the faith. Oh, okay, this is what I need to be aspiring, right? This is what I need to be aspiring. So that's the whole purpose of this chapter, right? So we see so many quotations, so many examples. So here the example is given of Prahlad Maharaj and Hanuman, right? Where Prahlad Maharaj, what happened when Nrsimhadev asked Prahlad asked for benediction. What did Prahlad Maharaj respond? Anybody knows? Yes.
What is the question?
I think he said.
What is the question? Gokul Pranatji?
I think he said, I don't want to do business with you, my Lord.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you mean by that?
It
Don't
doesn't.
want any
Like,
serve you.
He doesn't want to take
I'm not
anything from
doing
Lord, like a
anything.
material.
yeah, the devotional services is like it's not a business.
Mm.
Yeah, Prahlad Maharaj said, I am not a Vanik. He said, I am not a businessman. What do you mean by businessman?
They look for profit.
Businessman means you do something, you get something,
Mm.
right? You
Right.
do something for somebody, then you ask for payment, right?
Yes, brother.
I'm giving you a product, you pay me cash. Or you pay me cash, I give you product. There's an exchange,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's business. So what is Prahlad saying? Prahlad is saying, I'm not a businessman. I'm not doing business with you, my lord. So what that means is, I'm offering seva to you. I don't expect anything in return. There's nothing. There's no. It's not a two-way. I'm giving seva to you. That's it. Hari bol, right? So that is the mood of exalted devotees. They just want to serve. Sometimes even in our service, we expect from the Lord, right? When we are doing service, when you expect the Lord, you have to make it smooth for me. You have to do this. You have to, you know, because I'm doing so much seva, you need to take care of my problems. So we demand like that from the Lord. But here, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, I'm not a Vanik, my Lord. I don't expect anything back from you. I don't expect anything back from you. Hanumanji is also actually speaking the same way.
So, Prabhuji, I have a question here. Like, if
Yeah.
somebody, if we say like, "Oh, I'm doing the service, let the Lord be happy," is that
Mm.
also something that we're expecting?
No, to please the Lord is the goal of our seva.
Oh,
So it's not mechanical. It's from the
uh,
heart. Like I want to please you, which means the goal of my seva is to please you, which means I have to think how to serve you so that you are pleased.
mm-hmm.
I cannot mechanically do that. Okay, if I throw some prasad in front of Mani Prabhu, he'll be very happy. So I cook something and I'll, throw that plate in front of you. It's not mechanical.
Right.
I may not be a good cook and I may be I may be able to cook only some khichdi. But if I want to serve you, and if I make that khichdi with lots of love and devotion, and then I offer it to you, and then you realize, oh, Prabhuji, you don't know cooking, still you made khichdi for me. Will you not feel happy, right? You'll feel happy,
Prabhuji, you put it in such a way.
isn't it? Again, you could actually say that, Prabhu, I don't like khichdi. But even if you don't like khichdi,
Mm.
you will be pleased that somebody made that effort for you. So the heart has to be there. It's not mechanical.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So the desire is there. The desire is to please the Lord. But in return of that, we don't want anything for ourselves. You see, that is real humility. Humility means, what is the definition of humility? Anybody remembers? Humility means to not think less about oneself. No, humility does not mean to uh, to to think less about oneself, but to no, what is that? How does it put? How is that put together? Humility means to not. Humility means to not think oneself less, but to think less about oneself. You see, you got it? Humility means to not think oneself less, but to think less about oneself. So humility does not mean that, oh Prabhuji, I am so fallen, I am very bad, and all that. Humility means we are not thinking about ourselves, we are just thinking about Krishna and other devotees. Right? So that is the thing. This is what is being emphasized here. Next paragraph.
Yes, Prabhuji. In a similar passage in the Narada Pancharatra, it is stated, "My dear Lord, I do not wish any perfectional stage by performing the ritualistic religious ceremonies, or by economic development, or by sense gratification or liberation. I simply pray that you grant me the favor of keeping me under your lotus feet. I do not wish any kind of liberation, such as Salokya, to reside on your planet, or Sarupya, to have the same bodily features as you. I simply pray for your favor that I may be always engaged in your loving service." Thank you.
Next paragraph.
Okay. Similarly, in the 6th canto, 14th chapter, verse 5 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Maharaja Parikshit inquires from Sukadeva Goswami, "My dear Brahmana, I understand that the demon Vritrasura was a greatly sinful person, and that his mentality was completely absorbed in the modes of passion and ignorance. How did he develop to such a perfectional stage of devotional service to Narayana? I have heard that even great persons who have undergone severe austerities and who are liberated with full knowledge must strive to become devotees of the Lord. It is understood that such persons are very rare and almost never to be seen. So I am astonished that Vritrasura became such a devotee."
Next paragraph.
Okay. In the above verse, the most important thing to be noted is that there may be many liberated persons who have merged into the existence of the impersonal Brahman, but a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, is very, very rare. Even out of millions of liberated persons, only one is fortunate enough to become a devotee.
Hari Bol. What is the verse from Bhagavad Gita?
Manushanam Sahasreshu.
मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु कश्चिदेतति सिद्धये यततामपि सिद्धानां कश्चिन् मां वेत्ति तत्त्वतः बहुनां जन्मनामां ते ज्ञानवान् मां प्रपद्यते वासुदेवं सर्वमिति स महात्मा सुदुर्लभ. Devotee is rare, very rare. Your devotee is very rare. So we must not underestimate the power of devotional service, and we must not underestimate the power of a devotee. We must not underestimate. Just imagine, right? In this entire country of America, how many people are actually chanting Hare Krishna? In Pittsburgh, Mani Prabhu, how many people? What is the population of Pittsburgh?
2 million, I think.
Are you sure?
Greater Pittsburgh, everything included, I think maybe 2 million people at max.
Really? That's less. And how many people are chanting Hare Krishna?
50 people from our congregation.
50.
From our congregation is saying 50 people or 150 people at max.
Let's even those people who have chanted Hare Krishna a few times, let's even include them.
Oh.
So there'll be 500 people max, or 200 people, 250 people. You said what is the population? 2 million.
Yeah, bro. 2.3 million metro population.
Okay. What
I mean,
is
if
the
you take
percentage?
the city only, it is 300K, but Greater Pittsburgh, everything is 2.4 million.
Okay. So what is the percentage? 250 on 2.5. 250 divided by
1 in 100,000, Prabhuji.
0.0001.
1 in a lakh.
0.0001. That's the percentage of people in Pittsburgh that are devotees. One in 10,000. And out of the 250, how many are initiated devotees?
25.
Probably 10, 15. How many are chanting 16 rounds? Probably 20, 25. So just imagine that how rare it is. How rare it is actually to find a devotee. And sometimes we actually take it for granted. Right? We take it for granted. We think, this devotee, I don't want to associate with this devotee. Or that devotee is not so good. Or that devotee is not very advanced. Right? We take it for granted. But Krishna is saying here, is very, very rare. It's very rare. It's very rare. And actually, what happens when we see a devotee? When we see a devotee, we are reminded of Krishna. Actually, that is what it should happen. What it should happen is when we see a devotee, we should be reminded of Krishna. That's what should happen. But right now, what happens is when we see a devotee, we are reminded of their faults. Right? So, there's 0.0001% people. And when we, out of so rare population of devotees, when we see them, we are reminded of their faults. Can you imagine our conditioning? So this chapter is supposed to give us that proper vision that anybody who's engaged in devotional service is special, it's rare. And we must honor the process of devotional service, and we must honor a Vaishnava. So today I was hearing lecture of Radhanath Maharaj, and he was speaking on the Daksha, custom of Daksha. That how Daksha offended Lord Shiva, and because he offended Lord Shiva, Daksha's head was cut. Maharaj is explaining this is the power of a Vaishnava. So Maharaj saying that how we should not commit any offenses even to a neophyte devotee. And then he was basically saying that anybody who reads this pastime of Daksha will become pure from his conditioning. And now saying that what is the greatest conditioning is fault finding. Fault finding is the greatest conditioning. Okay, so that's what is being explained here. It's rare. What is rare? Next paragraph. Rathayatra Prabhu, let's
Yes,
quickly read through the remaining. I have a hard stop at 9:20, 9:25. Yeah.
yes, Prabhuji. I think. In Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 18th chapter, verse 20, when Kunti is praying to Lord Krishna at the time of his departure, my dear Krishna, you are so great that you are inconceivable even to the great stalwart scholars and Paramhansas, fully liberated souls. So, if such great sages who are transcendental to all the reactions of are unable to know you, then as far as we are concerned, belonging belonging to the less intelligent woman class, how is it possible for us to know your glories? How can we understand you? This verse, the particular thing to be noted is that the personality of Godhead is not understood by great liberated persons, but only by devotees such as Queen Kunti or humbleness. Although she was a woman and was considered less intelligent than a man, still she realized the glories of Krishna. That is the purport of this verse. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Another passage. Kabal Prabhu, would you like to read the next?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Read the next two paragraphs. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Another passage which is very important is in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, seventh chapter, verse 10, and is called the Atma Rama verse. In this Atma Rama verse, it is stated that even those who are completely liberated from material contamination are attracted by the transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna. The purport of this verse is that a liberated soul has absolutely no desire at all for material enjoyment, is wholly freed from all kinds of material desires. It still is irresistibly attracted by the desires to hear and understand the pastimes of the Lord. We may therefore conclude that the glories and pastimes of the Lord are not material. Otherwise, how could the liberated persons known as Atma Ramas be attracted by such pastimes? That is the important point in this verse. In the above statement, it is found that a devotee is not after any of the stages of liberation. There are five stages of liberation already explained as being: 1. To become one with the Lord; 2. To live on the same planet as the Lord; 3. To obtain the same bodily features as the Lord; 4. To have the same opulences as the Lord; and 5. To have constant association with the Lord. Out of these five liberated stages, the one which is known as Sayujya, or to merge into the existence of the Lord, is the last to be accepted by a devotee. The other four liberations, although not desired by devotees, still are not against the devotional ideals. Some of the liberated persons who have achieved these four stages of liberation may also develop affection for Krishna and be promoted to the Goloka Vrindavana planet in the spiritual sky. In other words, Those who are already promoted to the Vaikuntha planets and who possesses the four kinds of liberation may also sometimes develop affection for Krishna and become promoted to Krishna Loka.
So those who are in the four liberated stages may still be going through different stages of existence. In the beginning, they may want opulences of Krishna, but at the mature state, the dominant love for Krishna exhibited in Vrindavan becomes prominent in their hearts. As such, the pure devotees never accept the liberation of Sayujya, become one with the Supreme, although sometimes they may accept as favorable the other four liberated states. Out of many kinds of devotees of Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, the one who is attracted to the original form of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan is considered the foremost, the first class devotee. Such a devotee is never attracted by the opulence of Vaikuntha or even of Dwarka, the royal city where Krishna ruled. The conclusion of Sri Rupa Goswami is that the devotees who are attracted by the pastimes of the Lord in Gokula or Vrindavan are the topmost devotees. A devotee who is attached to a particular form of the Lord does not wish to redirect his devotion to other forms. For example, Hanuman, the devotee of Lord Ramachandra, knew that there is no difference between Lord Ramachandra and Narayan, and yet he still wanted to render service only to Lord Ramachandra. That is due to the specific attraction of a particular devotee. There are many, many forms of the Lord, but Krishna is still the original form. Though all of the devotees of different forms of the Lord are in the same category, still it is said that those who are devotees of the Lord Krishna are the topmost in the list of all devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, are you reading from the book or are you reading from the online site? From the
Book.
Veda?
Book, Prabhuji.
Oh, I mean, in the online there is a couple paragraphs that is missing here.
Okay. Any questions, comments? We spent a lot of time on this chapter. Devotional service surpasses all liberation. I guess maybe Krishna wanted us to spend time so that we can really digest nicely that how invaluable, how powerful pure devotional service is. And how by rendering pure devotional service, everything will come about. Everything. Like we were discussing last week, the pastime of Vamandev. And how Bali Maharaj actually was given the opportunity to execute pure devotional service. And how so nicely he actually made that wise decision. And seemingly, Bali Maharaj became a loser for a moment. He lost everything. He lost everything. But then the next moment, because of his execution of pure devotional service, Bali Maharaj gained everything. So what this teaches us is that the material opulences, material things are like flickering, very flickering. They come and they go. But when in the face of these different situations, sometimes we are rich, sometimes we are poor. When in the face of these situations, if we stick to our ideal of pure devotional service, what happens is we get the greatest wealth of Krishna. Right? So pure devotional service, everything will come. Everything Krishna will give. Right? Nothing. We will not lack anything. Krishna will give us everything. Right? All we need is a very strong determination to somehow or other execute pure devotional service and not settle down, not compromise. Not compromise with this by diluting our bhakti. Right? Sometimes we compromise, we dilute, we say, nahi chalega, thoda ye bhi kar lete hain. That's fine. Let me do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and that's okay if I have some material opulences I'm asking for. That's fine. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, that Bhagavatam, that even if I'm asking material opulences from Krishna, that's considered broad intelligence. Let me do that. Sometimes we think that's okay if I'm a little stubborn on some of my conditionings. That's fine. Right? So we tend to compromise. we tend to compromise from the position of pure devotional service, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So that's what is the crux of this entire chapter. That without compromising, let us be very steadfast in our, aspiration for only one thing in this life. And what is that aspiration?
Serve devotees.
Pure devotional service. Hare Krishna. Any final questions, comments before we close?
Prabhuji, I have one comment.
Yes, Mataji.
So with if we are not situated in pure devotional service, we may be promoted to Vaikuntha Loka but not Krishna Loka. Only who have developed affection for Krishna does not hanker for any other kind of liberation, only promoted to Krishna Loka. Is that correct understanding?
No, if we are not in pure devotional service, then we will not be promoted to even to Vaikuntha Loka. We
That
can't
means
go
you
to Vaikuntha Loka.
then this Sarupya, Sayuchya, those liberations exist only in Vaikuntha Loka, right?
No, that those also exist in Goloka.
Meaning to experience same bodily features, same planet as Lord, you have the one has to be situated in Vaikuntha planet to experience those.
Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavan also, right?
But without surpassing these attachments to liberation, will one promoted to Krishna Loka?
So one may be on a higher platform of devotional service and may still be awarded these, because that's why Prabhupada says, right, that the other four liberations, although not desired by devotees, still are not against the devotional ideals. So the devotee may be awarded that, but he's not desiring that. You see, it's not desiring that. But even to get there, even to have the same form as the Lord, one has to perform pure devotional service. Devotional service we cannot get out of the material world.
Okay.
All right.
Getting into Vaikuntha Loka is a big thing, and getting into Krishna Loka is like ultimate big thing.
Exactly. First of all, to put an end to our suffering is a big thing. Right? But no, even before that. First of all, to get material opulences is a big thing. Right? Then to put an end to the suffering is a big thing. Then to get liberated from this bodily concept is a big thing. And then to get out of the material world is a big thing. And after all these big things comes Vaikuntha Loka. And then Vaikuntha Goloka. So just imagine, simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is awarding us entrance to Goloka. How merciful that is. That's our good fortune. Simply by, in our situation, simply by sincerely chanting Hare Krishna and not offending devotees, Mahaprabhu is saying, I'll take you back home, back to Godhead. I'll give you entrance to Goloka. That's our good fortune. All right? Okay, thank you very much. We will meet again. So let us try to start at
Do you
8
have
o'clock every Saturday.
question or anything? Comment, Shubhadra?
So that
If we have any health problems or any problems, can we ask Krishna in this process? We can't ask her if we want to go to Goloka.
Prabhuji, Shubhadra Rani Mataji is on the phone.
So,
She's outside.
Mataji, I need to actually jump off. So, Gokul Prabhuji, can you answer that question?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you all very much. Dandavad.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.